For a long time, Katherine Deneuve was more than just a well-known face. Her enduring allure, elegance, and mystique have also been emblems of her legacy. At 81 years old, though, she has undergone the most stunning transformation. Her icy beauty and magnetic presence won over audiences around the globe, and she rose to the position of most famous French film actress. While some celebrities may lose their charisma as they age, Deneuve's charisma remains undimmed. She has aged well, even though some people find it hard to believe. How does she manage to maintain her stunning good looks while making such fearless choices in life? Life has been tough for Deneuve. She has experienced personal tragedy, been embroiled in scandals, and defied film conventions. But how does she appear now? In what ways has something unexpected happened in her life? To fully grasp her current identity, we must return to the beginning. Born into the film industry, where storytelling was a daily occurrence, Katherine Deneuve wasn't merely born into a family. She was born Catherine Fabienne d'Orléac in Paris, France, on October 22, 1943. The spotlights were always on Kathy Deneuve when she was a kid. Renée Simoneau was a well-known French stage actress who provided voiceovers for Hollywood stars. Her father, Maurice d'Orléac, was an actor and voice actor. In their home, there was a great deal of imagination. Storytelling was commonplace, and classic movie dialogue filled the air. Katherine never imagined herself in a Hollywood star, despite the fact that she spent her childhood in the movie theater. She aspired to be an explorer or an interior designer because she enjoyed the way things appeared. Revealing long-lost histories was an appealing concept to her. Instead of the unpredictable mayhem of Hollywood, she preferred the idea of peaceful creative expression. Nevertheless, destiny had different plans. Katherine followed in her family's footsteps into the acting industry rather than her own desire to do so. Her elder sister, Françoise d'Orléac, was already achieving great success. She exuded confidence, had a magnetic charm, and had no trouble playing the lead role. She encouraged her younger sister Katherine to consider acting as more than simply a family hobby, and she was Katherine's greatest role model. Katherine was forced to do it against her will. The 1957 film Les Collégiennes was her first small role, and she was just 13 years old. However, 1967 was the year that catastrophe struck in a manner that no script could have prepared her for. An horrific car crash near Nice, France, claimed Françoise's life. Her age was a mere 25. It was unbearable to suffer such a loss. It was too much for Katherine to bear, and she would never recover. Sisters had always been by each other's side. Katherine couldn't cope with her grief without Françoise. Despite this, she remained unfazed by the stares. However, she persisted, resolved to continue her sister's work. It was her mission now. She could no longer choose whether or not to act. Despite being exceptionally attractive for her social class, Katherine had a challenging childhood. She was behind her friends who had formal training in the theater. Her shows were perceived as distant and too quiet, according to many. She had little screen time in low-budget films because studios preferred actors with greater emotional range. Still, she held her ground. She had come to absorb knowledge, and await the pivotal moment when everything would shift. She was still figuring out her role in the industry in the early 1960s when she took on insignificant tasks. She had the good looks of a movie star, but not the acting chops of a genuine leading lady, in their opinion. Once again, things changed. In 1964, director Jacques Demy was casting for Genevieve to play the lead in The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. There was nothing like it, a musical where every word was sung, blending vibrant colors with genuine emotion. It might be a huge success or a complete bust. Demy approached Katherine and she froze. No singer was she aware of. Having every word sung in a movie was terrifying to her. She was so sure she wasn't the right fit for the part that she nearly declined. However, Demi noticed a quality in her. There was a subtle energy, a presence that could be felt even in the absence of overt manifestations. Demi advised her that her true power lay not in her vocal abilities, but in her ability to convey emotion through her expressions, facial expressions, and even her silences. After hearing that, Katherine decided to take a risk and play a role that would shape her early career. When The Umbrellas of Cherbourg premiered at the 1964 Cannes Film Festival, it was a major event. When Katherine Deneuve's film took home the Palme d'Or, the world got to know her. With her breathtaking blonde beauty and the subtle melancholy she conveyed to Genevieve, her performance captivated the audience. Criticism has centered on her resemblance to former movie stars and claims that she represents traditional French elegance. The French weren't the only ones who took notice, though. In addition to proving that Demier's ideas were genuinely groundbreaking, the film became an international sensation and received an Oscar nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. Hollywood couldn't help but notice this ethereal blonde with a shroud of mystery around her. Studios in Europe were quick to recruit her. Katherine Deneuve went from being an aspiring actress to being hailed as the pinnacle of French elegance in the blink of an eye. Mysterious, beautiful, and unbeatable. Among those who took note was Yves Saint Laurent. She embodied the epitome of elegance and grace, making her the perfect fit for the renowned designer. The Umbrellas of Cherbourg not only catapulted her to stardom, but it also foreshadowed her subsequent works. She had established her dominance over the screen, and now everyone was waiting for her to do something next. Her success catapulted her to stardom, but it also sprung unexpected complications for her. Even when she wasn't acting, Katherine Deneuve's personal life was riveting. When she was a teenager, she had strong feelings for Roger Vadim. He had matured, gained confidence, and developed a strong passion for cinema. Those choices were considered scandalous when they were living together, but Katherine didn't give a hoot. Despite Roger's repeated proposals she would never marry him, marriage was more of a ceremonial than a necessity for her. After getting married and having a son together, they divorced because their differences were too great. Katherine continued on with her life after the breakup, even though it may have been a crisis for some. David Bailey, an outspoken and courageous shooter who succeeded in the glamorous world of fast fashion, was her husband after that. At their short ceremony, Mick Jagger served as best man. The marriage, however, was short-lived. As far as Katherine was concerned, picking up English was the silver lining. Even though Katherine Deneuve enjoyed breaking the rules from time to time, she never felt obligated to do so. The most passionate relationship she ever had was with the Italian actor Marcello Mastroianni, who was famous for his fiery on-screen persona. Right from the start, their bond was strong. Their connection went beyond the confines of the film set where they first crossed paths. However, Marcello's marriage was already in the works. Katherine ignored the whispers and continued to make her own decisions. Despite everyone's scrutiny, Chiara, who is their daughter, found her own special way to become a mother. Even so, she declined the proposal of marriage once more on the grounds that she believed their love for one another would remain unaffected by a formal contract. Even when she collaborated with some of the industry's biggest male stars, rumors would follow her. There were rumors of multiple affairs involving Clint Eastwood, Burt Reynolds, Alain Delon, and the actor. Some found her enigmatic because she showed public displays of emotion on television without allowing them to transfer to her private life. People were free to form their own opinions because she didn't say much. The one constant in Katherine's relationships was her insatiable need for independence. Although her love was profound, she was unwavering in her independence. She got to decide the rules and duration of the connection, regardless if it was with a director, a photographer, or a globally famous person. Many found her even more intriguing because of this. No one could stop her, no matter how high her title. Loving someone shouldn't feel like being confined, she said once. Because of her mindset, she became one of the few celebrities who fearlessly navigated the challenges of love and stardom. Katherine Deneuve has always maintained that she is not sorry about her decisions. Despite the world's best efforts to classify women, she defied convention. She enjoyed dating, but she was reluctant to settle down with a lifelong partner because she valued her autonomy too much. While some saw her as defiant, others saw her as a free spirit who did her own thing. Katherine, though, was more than simply a romantic enigma. She was also fiercely independent. She was always unafraid of conflict. In 1971, she shocked many by signing the Manifesto of the 343. The women made a courageous public confession by admitting to having abortions while they were still illegal in France. She was willing to put herself out there, face criticism, and possibly legal consequences in order to stand up for what she believed in. Every woman ought to have autonomy over her own body. Making a decision that might have cost her her job was something she didn't give much thought to. Another firestorm had caught her off guard. After all these years, Katherine voiced her disapproval of the leadership of the Me Too movement as it gained momentum. She was for women's rights overall, but she thought the movement was unfairly shaming some individuals without proper evidence. What she said infuriated many. Many mistook her for endorsing immoral actions. While most people would say sorry, Katherine chose not to. As before, she did not back down. Her detractors would not give her the benefit of the doubt, despite her clear stance and calls for justice and open dialogue. However, Katherine Deneuve persisted. The same way she always did, she continued to speak out. Beyond issues pertaining to women, her defiant nature extended. She went to court to stop a magazine from using her name without her permission. It was Katherine's firm belief that no one else had the right to profit from her fame and the good name associated with her. After she successfully sued the magazine, it changed its name. No one would profit from her recollection without her explicit consent. That much was communicated. She defied Hollywood's expectations by staying true to herself despite her star power. Plots that she found either too simplistic or disrespectful to her culture were rejected.